Hello, everybody. I'm Jalen, and welcome back to the Let's Play world here. And I know it's been a little while. I've been streaming quite a bit lately, so that's where I've been, but I am really actually looking forward to jumping back on the Let's Play world here, and we're actually jumping back where it all began here for Season 2 at least. Our treehouse area over here. And I really do enjoy this area. I really like what we got going here, but one thing is that I really planned on Season 2 being me just expanding on this area, and I kind of neglected that idea, and I haven't been over here for a little while. So today, we're going to make some serious progress on this side of the lake. We're going to get another, I think I'm going to do an angled treehouse right here to go with our micro farms over here, and we'll figure something out to put in there, and then I want to get a road network going up the hill here, so I can just have inspiration on where I actually want to put things. I think have it kind of coming up here and have something going across, maybe down here. And I also want to get a few tree houses kind of on this side that are going to be for villagers. So I plan on doing a lot today. And I think we're just going to jump in and start with the road going up the hill. As always, just start by sketching things out with my shovel and going through and shaping the mountain a little bit, planning a path, and then I just fully committed to the oak. Definitely going through some oak here, but we happen to have a good amount of resources at the moment, which is fun to hop in this world after playing all this hardcore world and just having all the resources to be able to do this. And yeah, we just wound our way up the mountain, and it was a pretty big project, definitely using quite a bit of oak. But it's nice to be able to get up to the top of the hill here and just kind of have the map laid out and inspiration to come up here and build something sometime. And it's just a really cool path. I like the switchbacks up the mountain and adds a lot to the area, just getting some different angles. I think it's looking really good. I'm going to want to extend out this way and work towards where I want the villagers over here, so I just came over here and wanted to connect this road as well and just got back at it. I'm gonna let it just ride out for a second. In hindsight, using these full spruce logs was kind of a mistake. Definitely very expensive, but it's got the exposed core of the wood and it just kind of complicated to work with. Dark oak planks are going to be easier and a lot cheaper, but kind of a flex using the spruce, I guess. And I think it looks decent enough, and yeah. I just really like getting the interesting angles and just different shapes added to the area here. Just the way it winds up the hill there and inspires to find some spots to sneak some tree houses in here. I'll be needing to do a good amount of terraforming to make that work, and the way it meets up where I want the village down here and inspiration to build something up top here. We won't be getting to that today, but definitely plans for the future. But now I'm ready to get going on this angled treehouse down here that I've really been procrastinating on for a while, so it's about time I get doing this, and it's really going to start to bring our little lake down here together. But once again, I think I'll just step out of the way and let you enjoy the process here. And getting these angled roofs down is something that just comes with practice, but once you get it figured out, they're pretty simple, and they're definitely worth it to try to learn, because I know I've said it many times before, angled builds just really add a lot to an area. And then we just kept at it. Did a little extra work on the patio, extending it, giving myself a little more room to work. Just matching it with the rest of the macro farms we got over there. And along those lines, we got to give this building a little purpose. And you might have guessed by the dripstone that I was using. And I'm going to turn it into my lava farm here. Just put down a few cauldrons and hid some lava in the ceiling here. Now it'll be a place that just has some lava handy whenever I need it. Go around with some slight finishing touches, do a little bit of texturing, more lighting. I feel like just getting these lighter clay blocks along the windows ends up looking really good, just like the light coming out of the windows. And yeah, in the end, I'm really happy with how this came out here. It's definitely not too fancy. I missed the clip of me putting in these lava blocks as the decoration, but I think they look cool, and nothing fancy in here, and I don't plan on doing much more with the interior, really. It's more of a functional building, but it's definitely functional. It'd be cool to have the lava handy. And I just really like the way it's getting something on this side of the lake here. And something I've been planning on doing for a long time that I just procrastinated on. I should have done it when I made all the original macro farms over there. And yeah, just getting that angled build in there. I just think it fits in so nice. And I'm just really excited to start expanding, figuring out some tree houses up the mountain, but we're going to start with our village down here. And it's going to be cool getting buildings on this side of the lake as well, and it's got one of the best views in the whole place. And I've got a different style in mind for the tree houses down here, but I think it's going to be cool just getting kind of a different district set up, but still going with the treehouse theme. And for these, I just wanted a tree going right through the middle of the house. And I'm not going to do the big patio or anything. We're just going to get a staircase going up the tree right into the house, and then we'll eventually get some villagers trapped in here. And yeah, I'm taking inspiration for these buildings from buildings I built in my recent hardcore world that I've been streaming. I unfortunately just died in. I did survive 333 days though, which I feel like if you've been following this Let's Play, I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, I built similar buildings in there. I just really liked this roof style. And they're just simple to make, and I kind of wanted the low roof to let the colorful trees pop from behind it. And I did go with colors of the buildings to kind of match the trees behind it. And they were just simple to put the tree through and then plant once I get to the top. That way we end up with some extra tall spruce trees. And yeah, just put a staircase in, and we'll put trapdoors down, and villagers will have a nice little place to live. I'm not going to worry about free-roaming villagers over here, I don't think. I could think of doing that in the future, I guess, but for now I'm just planning on them having this as a space to live, and this, for example, will be where my farmers live. I figure the yellow was a good color for that. And yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get the clip of me stepping back and taking some peeks before I got a few more buildings added in. These are the exact same as that building, just using different blocks and facing in different directions. And yeah, just kind of cookie cutter buildings, but they're actually a really cool style to just mix and match, I think. Then for the top corner here, of course, I had to attempt my angled build though. And I think it came out pretty good. I think it matches the style perfectly well. Figuring this roof out took a little finagling, but like I said earlier, once you get working with the angled roofs, they're not as intimidating as they might look. It's just, you gotta find the pattern and then you're good to go. And I am super happy with these new buildings we got going. Obviously, it's just step one, getting them laid out. Getting the details is going to bring it all to a whole nother level. But just the way they go up the hill here, and I'm just really liking bringing the color to the area and just starting to surround the lake a little bit here. And on that note, I decided I was going to extend with this style up the hillside here. But before we do that, we're going to need to do a good amount of terraforming just to give some areas for having the tall trees that would make sense. And we're going to do that by just extending some flat area off the path here in a couple spots. And it ends up being quite a bit of work because I wanted to make it really make sense with the terrain. So end up putting a whole bunch of stone in, which actually is something I really wanted to do anyway. Get some stone mixed in the mountain so it's not just all dirt and grass. Or podzol, I guess I should say. So this was a little bit of a project, but well worth it. This is another thing I'm just getting a little better at over time, just terraforming the land to make things fit in a little better. It's always nice getting more cliffs in, that's for sure. And I've been really wanting to do something with this area anyway. And obviously this is just stage 1, but you can see how it's working there. We'll come back and shape it and add some things, but there were a couple more spots I wanted to get some flat land, so I dug a big flat area out right out of the wall in this spot, which worked out nice. And I also wanted to get something done on this corner over here where these roads meet up. It's just kind of awkward, so. And this ended up being a fairly sizable project as well. Just this was some weird generation as it was, so just trying to make the generation make sense. And I got it going down here, and that would have worked for my flatland, but I didn't like how close it was to this treehouse actually, and I totally intended to be up a level, so I moved up here and extended some flatland off from there, and this is where the real work started. Just bringing this all down to meet the side, and then I also from there went along and just worked on bringing the whole road down connected so we don't have the road just hanging off into nowhere. Fixing a few spots that I had used temporary dirt for and fill it in with stone, and like I said, just getting the stone added into the mountain rather than all the dirt and podzol, that's just really starting to look cool. And again, this is just stage 1. Lots of work to do from here and still some shaping I got to do, but for now I wanted to get stage 1 of the houses up here as well, just to see how it was going to look. And again, these are the exact same as the houses I built down there for the villagers, so we'll just kind of speed through this, but it is fun just getting more colorful houses in the area for one thing, and I really like the different roofs I got going on here. And these are just simple, easy tree houses, and once we get the details in here in a second, I think they're going to look pretty good. Got these first couple in and took this flight back during the sunset, take a peek, and I'm just really getting excited. Finally, my area is starting to spread around like I was planning on when I started this season. But I did want to get one more house over here in the corner, and I really like the way red looked over here, as well as the nice pop of the diorite roof. I think this looks really good. And yeah, just overall, getting this lake surrounded by buildings really has me satisfied. And obviously we've just got the shape of the houses up, but you can just really see the potential for the area here. And I just really like these angled roofs and the way they're working up the hill. Super happy with how it's coming together. And I was really looking forward to stepping the details up a level or two, but on my way back to my spawn area to pick up a few things, I accidentally broke my elytra, which is real annoying because I totally meant to mend it up earlier and just forgot. So that's kind of annoying, losing my first set of wings there, but I had a backup set that I put mending on I need to get unbreaking for, and mended it up and grabbed a few materials, and I was ready to put my head down and get to work. And I'm going to start by just kind of going through the houses in an assembly line and giving each one just some basic details, just some trim across the bottom, some flower pots in front of all the windows, and some trim across the top of the windows, and trim in the corners of the houses just to kind of make them more structurally sound. And yeah, obviously it's just a start, but just getting the basics on all the houses is really going to step things up. So we really got to work here. And something I've really enjoyed doing in some of my streaming worlds are these big circular windows. I just think they really add a lot. Just once again, just getting rid of any squares you can. And it's a good way to take up this space on the back side of these builds here. So at this point, I kind of had a plan. I was changing up the windows a little bit here and there, trying to make each building slightly different, but we kept the same concepts and kept the builds unified. And one of the coolest things of this whole project that I really didn't think much about was just how cool the views are out of most of these houses. I'll go through in the end and do a little tour and give a good look at things, but yeah, just building over here closer to my colorful forest is really cool to be doing at this point. Adding to the view from the forest as well. And yeah, I was really liking how things were coming together, and I just worked through a couple nights to bring the rest of the houses up to par. I ended by getting a staircase up, all the trees just right into the house from the bottom, and just using some trap doors at top, which is what'll trap the villagers in. But I was real happy to get these basic details just added to these houses here and get a nice view here at sunrise, and oh yeah. Really looking cool with the light coming through the windows and the path all lit up. And just the expansion of my treehouse area overall has just really got me excited to keep going on this area. We still got lots to do. These houses don't even have the trees coming through them. So while we're at that, we're just going to kind of work on adding some foliage around the area and just bringing things to life a little bit. And just getting these flowers in and getting the trees coming through the house, just another small set of details, but really brings it up another level. Now they're actually looking like tree houses, and the little pops of flower are just adding a lot. But take a good look now, because we're going to be really adding some greenery from here on out. And this is the kind of thing that really is the finishing touch to an area, and one of my favorite parts of a build. And I figured, since the houses were all green and leafy, we might as well do the same for the roads. And this was a pretty big job. I skip over a lot of it, but it's well worth it to do because you'll see it really makes a difference. And I did take it up even another level and started spreading the moss all over the place. I have been kind of doing that over here, kind of creating my own little biome, and I think it works really well in the mega spruce with mixing the bright green with the coarse dirt and the podzol. I think it's just a cool combo. Ends up just looking really good. The last thing I did was just finish this last little road extension to get up to this highest treehouse here. And with that, I was really happy with the progress we've made in this episode. We've essentially doubled the size of our treehouse village here. We added 8 new tree houses today, which is crazy. And I'm just really liking the districts we got going on. We got the new villager district, which I just really like how these came out, especially after we got the greenery added, and especially after the moss. I think the moss is one of the coolest additions of the whole area, that bright green and just a unique kind of biome. Definitely just looks like I got my hands on it. And just the colorful houses I'm really liking. And then the other district of the microfarm houses over here, and they have their own look. I'm just really liking the treehouse area. I do want to get a couple more houses added in up the mountain here. And we'll probably get a couple more microfarms added on this side. And we'll just keep expanding. And I know I didn't get interiors done or anything here today, or get the villagers over here. We definitely got some more work to do, but I feel like I've put in quite a bit of work here and wanted to get the episode out. And yeah, these houses are just really cool. They got really cool views. Like I said, I think this is one of my favorite, being up high with the colorful trees behind here, and just a really cool view of the microfarms over there. And just being on this side of the lake and having a reason to come over here and get this view, I think is just really cool. And I like how all the houses are built the same style, but they all just have something different about them. And whether it's the windows, even though I did go with these round windows all over the place, but I'm really liking them. But yeah, they're all just slightly different from each other, but I'm just really liking it. And yeah, just one more view from above. Our whole treehouse village over here is just really come together and quickly turning into one of my favorite areas. And I'll be coming back before too long to finish things up with the interiors and get the villagers over here and just expand on the area. I plan on this being an area I come back to often and expand on. So yeah, I apologize for the time between episodes here. I've just really been streaming a lot and having fun with that, but I am happy to be back in this world here, so I think I'll be getting back on track. So yeah, as always, thank you all for coming and have a good day.